Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, how much thought have you given to your own retirement and protecting it? We'll be talking to a leading national expert next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, I find that when you talk to most Americans about retirement, that's the furthest thing from their mind. Most of us think, well, I'm just going to live forever. I won't need to worry about my retirement, especially when you're in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, you're fairly bulletproof. And why would I talk about something that boring? But it is really critical to start thinking about that. Roy Snarr, he's with Roy Snarr Retirement Solutions. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, this is my first ever appearance in our Austin studios, and you are a wonderful client. I think you're one of our first shows that we've ever done here.
Awesome.
And so thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with our viewers. I want people to know a little bit more about you. You are rated #1 in different categories. Brag a little bit.
Okay. It's always hard for me, so I'm always just trying to be humble. But yeah, we've been very fortunate and blessed to become one of the top-rated asset protection firms in the entire country. So we've been ranked #1 in Texas with multiple insurance carriers in the top 10 in the U.S., and we help thousands of people every single year from coast to coast.
Okay. Tell us one of your favorite stories of a family you've helped.
Okay. One of my favorite stories is the reward of what we actually do, because nobody really wants to talk about insurance. It's another bill. Oh, I'll worry about it later. Most people spend more time planning their grocery list than they do their life insurance or anything else. But one of the most recent stories that was very impactful to us, it was unfortunate, but it reeled us back to why we do what we do. A family I helped out, they just had a young daughter, and we helped them with life insurance. And now the husband and wife are like, yeah, I don't think we really need it. I was like, no, you do need it. It's important. And anyways, longer story short, we were able to help them. And then unfortunately in 2020, he had passed away. And I received a phone call from the wife saying, unfortunately, my husband has passed away. Do we still have that life insurance policy? And I said, yes, you do. I was able to help process the claim and deliver them a $1 million check to help take care of their family.
Wow, what does that feel like?
It was amazing. It was emotional because I've been in this business for over a decade, and we had never processed any life insurance claims until 2020 and 2021, then 2022. So that was one of the first claims I actually helped process. And it was unfortunate, the situation, but at least we were there to help provide some financial relief, because unfortunately the world that we live in, the banks, the bill collectors, they don't care about your situation. They want the money. And we were able to provide that for them and help take care of the wife and the daughter. So it was very rewarding.
Well, you've built an amazing practice. We're going to scroll down your website, because as we go down the website, we just look at all those different media outlets that you've been on. And I think that's Dr. Drew Pinsky. I mean, you've had an amazing career, and you're a young man. How old are you? Can I ask?
I'm 35. I'll be 36 this year. I started when I was 22. And when I first started, wasn't super focused, but as time progressed, I became full-time, and I truly believe that this is my calling and the avenue that we are able to help thousands of people with.
Yes, and there's an old saying, no one cares how much you know until they know how much you care.
That's true. Yes.
Here is Roy's why.
My journey in the financial services industry began when I was very young. I was 14 years old when my mother became permanently disabled. Somebody ran a stop sign, hit her, led to a disability. We ended up losing our home, and she lost her job. This one single life event of a car accident completely changed our financial outcome. But when I became older and went to school, I started studying finance. But that helped lead me to understanding how the financial system actually works and how people can actually become protected. So this way, they don't have to go through the same thing that we went through. So my day begins very early. Typically around 5 a.m., I'm up and at 'em. And I get up my cup of coffee and I immediately start looking at emails and seeing what I have to do for the day, because we typically see anywhere between 5 and 8 people every single day. One of the best things about owning my own agency is the ability to work with family and friends. My mother has been working with us for over a decade now, and all of our teammates are just like family, including our partnerships. One of the partnerships that we have is Texas Medicare Advisors. They specialize in helping people understand and navigate that complicated path of Medicare and health insurance. That team is composed of Jason, Greg, and Paul. And it's great because Jason and Greg are here in office, and we have another team member that's in South Carolina. Another teammate that we have is in California. So we have folks all across this great country. And this knowledge in our space has allowed us to be featured on mainstream television stations, radio shows, and other outlets. The way I treat every single client or individual that calls into our office or that wants some help and guidance, I treat them the very same way I would treat my own mother. Because all of the solutions and strategies that we help people with, either I personally own myself with my own hard-earned money inside of it, or I've helped my own mother with it or other family members. A work-life balance, it's always a juggle because I absolutely love what I do, and I could work 24 hours a day doing this business. However, when I'm not here at the office or out visiting with folks or teaching classes, I enjoy outdoors, and my whole family is the same way. We love going camping, we love going to the lake. We also enjoy hiking and exploring new caves that are around here and anything cool like a historical site. We just love being outside and traveling and going to see places. I try to cut my day off about 5:30, and once I get home, I have a beautiful wife named Jessica and 2 beautiful little girls. Our little 6-month-old, she's our little Texas potato, and then we call our 3-year-old our Texas tornado because she's very energetic. We also have another family member. Her name is Rika. She's an Antelonian Shepherd and Great Pyrenees mix. She thinks she's a little tiny puppy still and jumps up on our lap and on the couch, but she's actually 100 pounds. So our house is never boring. It's a complete circus, but I absolutely love the chaos. One of the mottos that we go by is safe money strategies that provide guarantees that can help protect against life's curveballs that may come at them. And if you can have some protection barriers there where you don't have to lose everything and you don't have to blow your entire life savings to pay for long-term care because of a plan that we helped you with, that's what gets me out of bed in the morning, and that's what I absolutely love to help clients out with.
And we should point out that that was shot a couple of years ago. There's another blessed event in your family.
There is. We have our baby boys. So we have 2 girls and a boy. We're creating this people farm at our house.
Outstanding. And I don't know how you find time for all
it's challenging.
The work that you do. But you're an amazing author as well. We're going to put up on the screen some of the books that you've written. And I want you to talk about each one and why you wrote.
Yeah, the long-term care book, we'll start out with that. I'm very passionate about long-term care. It's one of the most underserved lines of protection and coverage for people. And what I did is I took the time with a partner and we wrote down everything about long-term care. Like, how can we make this simple for people to understand? So it's almost written as a sales manual for an insurance agent, but it's in the consumer's perspective. So it helps them overcome limiting beliefs, self-objections, everything. So when people actually read that, they understand what the options are. It opens a whole other world up for them. And the book sells itself. So we give it away for free. People can buy it on Amazon, but if you call us or email in our office, we'll just mail you a copy. We're here to help people out. We've even given it to other agencies just so that they can help their clients out with it.
Outstanding. And what was the other book?
The other book is Social Security. Now, another exciting topic, Social Security and long-term care. But the Social Security book, what I did is I condensed the hundreds of thousands of pages on Social Security's website into an 88-page book. if a consumer reads that, it's going to give them a much better perspective of how Social Security actually works. Because when I was a young child, when my mother became disabled, that's the only source of the income we had was a Social Security check. And it was confusing to navigate it, even today for people. So we write all the little, I wouldn't call them tricks, but all the little hacks about how to get the most out of Social Security.
Yes. Now, you recently started a podcast, and,
Yeah.
and you're doing it on our network. Thank you for that.
Yes, thank you.
Tell us why you started the podcast. What's the show about?
So the show is called The Roy Snarr Show, Entrepreneurship and Giving Back. And the reason why I'm so passionate about creating this show is I wanted to create another outlet, an avenue for entrepreneurs to learn from other entrepreneurs that are successful in whatever field that they end up doing. Like our success came from insurance.
Yes.
And so we wanted to share that success with the world and encourage other people to become an entrepreneur, to become successful. And the giving back part is all about what do you do to give back? So for example, we help sponsor charities, we give away free content. We want to help as many people as possible. And the best way to do that is to create video today. And using your beautiful studios here in downtown Austin is an amazing blessing, and we absolutely love it. And the show is gaining lots of traction. We have listeners from all over the country, now the world too.
Wow, that's amazing. So in the little time we have left, final thoughts.
Yes.
For the person who, it's like watching paint dry to talk about these things, why do they need to just kind of wake up and do it?
Okay, great question. Nobody wants to think about insurance or asset protection or what's going to happen to them. They don't want to think about getting sick or needing long-term care in the future. They want to think about, spoiling the grandkids, going on vacation. But what happens if something happens to you? I've personally lived through 5 different events in our lives that have dramatically changed the outcome of our family, wiped out wealth, and we've seen hundreds of clients lose everything because they didn't have simple protection measures in place. That's where we come in. We work with the financial advisors, the CPAs, the attorneys on how to help protect people through insurance, through their estate. If they pass away, who's going to pay the bills? Or if they need long-term care, how are they going to pay for that? That's where we come in.
Wow. Roy, thank you so much for being the first guest here in Austin.
Yeah,
and,
I love it. Thank you.
And for sharing your wisdom with the world. We're going to end with his website, which is roysnarr.com. The great Roy Snarr. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
All right, that's it for
Awesome.
now. We'll see you next time.